Wednesdays. I'm Juji.
I'm Esther.
I'm Alex.
I'm Elijah.
And I'm Mom.
And we're here to remind you what day it is.
So if you couldn't notice, there's an extra person here today. Normally when we have a guest on Pirate Wednesdays, it's because one of us can't make it, but we figured for our 20th episode, it was time we had our poor mom on here to be embarrassed and have fun like the rest of us. So, Mom, want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Or rather, our
I'm
listener.
a mom.
Yep.
I have 4 children. And
Yep.
I'm not sure how much I really want to say about myself on here. I'd rather stick to you asking questions that are more basic.
More basic questions? All right. So she's a secret mom with 4
What's your
children.
favorite color?
Green.
There you go.
Trisha, you already knew that.
Yeah, I know.
Alex, do you have any questions for Mom?
What do you do for a living, Mom?
Well, I'm a full-time mom, and I have a cleaning business. And, I just do all kinds of things, but I guess that's what that's brings in the money.
Brings home the bacon.
Brings home the bacon and fries it up in the pan.
Not for me.
Well, there we go.
That's right, Esther's a
Yes,
vegetarian.
Esther, we know
You
you're a
have to
vegetarian.
remind everyone every time.
It's part of being a vegetarian.
No,
Alright,
it's part of being
so-
a vegan.
Well, you seem to make it part of being a vegetarian as well.
That's just me.
Alright.
Alright, so moving into new this week. Because I know Mom has at least listened to some of our episodes, she's probably familiar with it, but just in case we do happen to have any new listeners, New This Week is a segment where we talk about something new we either did or learned this past week. So who would like to start off this week?
I'll start off this week.
Okay.
Mine's kind of stupid, but we all just got back from Thanksgiving, eating turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy. And I found out this last week a little bit about the cranberry farming industry. And the fun fact I found out about that is, believe it or not, it is still run by local farmers, and it hasn't quite, like, the industry hasn't, well, actually, a particular brand, what is it called? Oh, it's
Ocean Spray?
Ocean Breeze.
Ocean Spray.
Ocean Spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ocean Spray,
Yeah.
which makes, like, the cranberry sauce that, like, Thanksgiving is known for.
Yeah, the big cranberry people.
They're just a collaborative of like just regular old farmers. I couldn't believe that. I was actually really surprised.
That's cool.
You know, because a lot of companies they like to show off how, like, you know, farm to table they are and stuff. But believe it or not, Ocean Spray actually is more farm to table.
Well, do they have cranberry bogs up
that's
in
what I found
Vermont?
I mean, I haven't seen
I think
any.
they were Massachusetts.
Yeah, there's
I know there's in
Okay.
Mass. Yeah.
over in like Carver when I would work at King Richard's Fair, I'd pass by a number of them.
Yeah, I didn't
On
know
my
if
way
they have
to
any
the
in
fair.
Vermont.
I don't know if that area would be good for. I honestly don't know exactly what type of conditions are required for cranberries, but
Yeah, I think they're harvested. I believe they're harvested in the
Yeah,
fall.
yeah,
right?
they are.
Because that's when they flood them. Probably
Yeah, and the
like late
cranberries
summer.
float to the top, and then they scoop them.
Yeah.
And then they boil them down and make the juices and the sauces and whatnot. But yeah, I figured I'd go first because mine was like kind of dumb and had to do with Thanksgiving.
no, like they
but-
don't always have to be complicated. As I've said in the past, like there's some weeks where I went skydiving and other weeks where I learned how to use chopsticks. So there's really no gauge to how complicated it needs to be. It's just something different, something new. So mine's actually pretty simple this week as well. I decided to buy a 3D printer. and I've been meaning to do this for a while now because I do like building and designing things. And it's kind of been a while since I've done much design work, and so I'm trying to get back into it. And I kind of impulse bought a 3D printer.
What?
So what
But
exactly
I got
is a
a good deal
3D
on it.
printer?
I wouldn't say that's
What?
What
very
is a,
simple. Like, that's pretty cool.
so
Well,
what
I
what
mean,
does
it's-
a 3D printer do that is different?
Oh boy, how do I describe?
It
Okay,
prints
so
in 3D, and it's
yeah. So
like
no,
it,
Jude,
like, kind of
know the cool.
plastic.
All right, yeah,
or-
Jude.
What?
Okay, so know the really cool pen you bought, Juji?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, imagine if it didn't look like it was like stringy doodles, and it actually could like make solid things out of liquid plastic, based on like designs that you create up in the computer, and so then it prints it out.
You'll have to bring something by to show me what it does.
Well, it has to come in the mail first, but I'll send you a link to a video sometime. It's actually really, really cool. You can make all sorts of interesting stuff. Like it's almost endless. It's
I'm
pretty
really excited
impressive.
about this.
So the one I got, I say impulse bought because I did my research and bought it all within the same day. But I did actually spend a number of hours kind of doing some research on it, and kind of based on the price point I wanted to go for. I got a really good one. The print area is about just under a foot by just under a foot by about 15 inches high.
Oh, nice. I was actually going to ask about
Yeah,
that.
so it's sizable. It's much bigger than you typically see, and it does really good quality prints. And it normally goes for about $500, and I got it for $340. So
Nice.
yeah, I hit a good sale. It was actually happened to be on Black Friday. It was just, I don't know, happenstance. But yeah, so I'm
I'll be
looking forward
very-
to that coming in. I have no idea what I'm gonna make, but I've already seen tons of really cool stuff online. So I'll probably start off with some pre-existing designs just to kind of screw around with it, and then go from there.
Sounds pretty cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, so I'm pumped about that.
Will I
Okay.
get to use it at some point?
Definitely, you'll have to pay for your own plastic, but otherwise, probably, yeah.
Cool.
Mom, what about you? What's something new you learned or did this week?
Well, the Grammys are coming to New York City this year. It's their 60th anniversary. So they actually started in New York City. So they're actually coming here. So Al and I are actually going to the Grammys. And the end
That's
of
awesome.
end of January.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, Mom.
Yeah, we got to go out and get a gown for me because there's actually two parties. We were just invited to another one from two artists that do spiritual New Age music, and one of them did a beautiful album in celebration of Nelson Mandela. Do you guys know much about Nelson?
Oh, really?
Mandela? Yeah, and because it would be his 100th birthday this year, so it's a celebration of his 100th birthday. He's now passed away, but so
Yeah.
this guy that did this beautiful album, he's invited us to a really nice party in New York City. So it looks like I'll need two gowns. So
Wow. I haven't seen
Ooh,
you
look
in a
at you,
gown
swanky.
before, so I'm excited about that. Because you never wear dresses or anything.
well, I mean, it's not like I just rarely. So yep,
Well,
that's the new thing.
That's really exciting.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
no, that's awesome.
you can't not go to the Grammys if it's in New York.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. I mean, well, I'm not going to the Grammys, but
Well.
still.
Well, not if you're a member. I'll be a member of the nomination.
True.
So
Didn't you say that you were going to go if a particular person ended up being on the
well,
ballot or
actually,
something
Alan
like
Boyd
that?
is up
or-
for a nomination. He
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Oh.
album that they did, Sunshine Tomorrow, it was their 50th anniversary. They could be getting a nomination for it. They're on the ballot, so we're going to find out on Tuesday. So if he gets nominated, he said he might want to come.
Oh, that's
So we
cool.
might see him in New York City he knows somebody in New York City, or actually New Jersey. He'll stay with him, and we'll go to the Grammys together. So so he might, if he does. Alan's got like 4 people that he's working with right now. So, and also this guy, Voltar Kellerman, his name is. He's another one that could be up. He's actually even got a Grammy. Al and I helped him out with it a couple years back. So that's why he just adores Al. So he's the one that's doing that big party in New York. So he's up also. So we're waiting. Tuesday we'll find out if any of them have got nominated. We're almost guaranteed that at least he's going to get nominated. And then off to the Grammys. So
That's really, really cool.
So
Cool.
that's the newest.
So, girls, how about either of you? Something new you learned or did this week?
George, what'd you do this week that's new? Well, I accidentally got some cinnamon in my eye today.
Okay.
That's definitely, hopefully, new, but how?
How'd you get it in your eye, Juge?
Okay.
It's not where you put cinnamon.
So I poured a glass of eggnog and I put whipped cream on it and some cinnamon on top of that. And while I was drinking it, some of the cinnamon got in my eye. And then I had to wash it out.
Did it hurt?
So it didn't really hurt, but it was really uncomfortable, and my eye wasn't
Yeah, I'd
opening
imagine
up. Yeah.
Wasn't opening.
So I had to
Well, if you've ever done the cinnamon challenge, that's going to, it usually dries out your mouth, so I imagine it would have a similar effect to your
Oh,
eye.
Esther and I just
Oh,
saw
God.
a video the other day somebody posted on Facebook of this old man saying, "Oh, I've been in the war. I've fought many challenges, and I could do this. This is not a big deal." And he was gagging and he was choking. We were laughing our head off. He coughed and a big puff of cinnamon came out of his mouth. And Esther and I were just dying laughing. And then after that, he said he had heart issues.
Oh, God.
Oh
Dig
boy.
that.
That's not good.
So I was like 5 minutes in the bathroom trying to wash it out of my eye.
Poor Juji. Esther, where were you? How come you didn't help her?
She wasn't here. I was
Oh.
home alone.
She was home.
Let's face it, Esther would have been laughing anyhow. She wouldn't have been helping.
She probably would have thrown
She
more
would've
cinnamon at her. Okay,
What,
Esther,
what about you,
you?
Esther? What?
What did I do?
What'd
Yeah.
you do?
So new this week. Let's see. Well, we had Thanksgiving. I had it for the 20th time.
So
Nice.
new.
The 20th time.
Wow. what did I
Come on,
do?
Esther. Can't be that boring.
Your first time having Thanksgiving as a vegetarian? No, maybe it's your second.
No, this is my second time actually. Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Well, I recently downloaded this game on my phone that me and Sam are obsessed with, and it's
It's
Oh.
Animal Crossing for your
Juice.
phone.
yeah, it's like
I knew you were gonna say that because it's everybody on the internet is currently obsessed with it. Like
it's
Pretty much.
awesome.
pretty much everyone's addicted.
Yeah, it's really addictive. But like, I remember playing an Animal Crossing game on Digi's DS years ago, and I got bored of it so quickly because you just didn't have anyone to talk to, and you felt so lonely. Like, that was my problem. Like, I got bored of the game, but also I felt lonely in the game. But this game it's interesting because it sets up like so many challenges for you, so you constantly have things to do, and you can like visit like people that you know. You can visit their camps and see like how they're decorated and how their house is decorated. So it's really cool. Yeah, if anyone knows about Animal Crossing, then I would definitely check out the app.
Yeah, just be prepared not to do anything else with your life for a
Yeah.
long while.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our next segment, it's Song of the Week. And Juji had one last week. She had an artist, but she didn't quite have a song at the time to recommend. So this week, you want to let everybody know?
Okay, so the artist is Coda Pirat, and her song is called Adieu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you sing us
Cool.
part
Do you know
of it?
what?
No, I can't.
Do you know what album that's off of?
Oh, I don't know. You didn't tell me to look up the album. You just said song and artist.
Yeah. Well,
So that's all I know. That's all I'm giving you. So
That's all you're giving us.
that's all you
Alright.
get.
Fine.
You'll find
Alright.
it.
Moving on to our next segment. This week we're going to do Blank Explains Blank. And since we have our special guest, our mom, on, I figured we could have Mom explain Tumblr.
Tumblr. You know, when you go to the gym and they have these mats and everybody says, okay, it's our time to tumble. So you do cartwheels and you tumble. That's what a tumbler is, right? Is it also some kind of a tumbler when you, no, that's Tupperware. Oh, that's right.
Tupperware.
Yeah, but isn't there like a Tupperware that's called Tumbler? I'm going to look that up. Somebody Google that.
That might be true.
I think you're thinking of like a drink
You
thing.
sure?
It's for like making mixed drinks.
I'm going to look it up. There's got to be a tumbler.
No. You can't look up Tumblr. That's against the rules. You can't look something
you
up when
can't.
you're
Mom, you
doing a
just
Blank
did.
Explains Blank.
Mom, she's probably gonna spell it wrong though. So I mean,
Yeah, but I
something
wanted to
else
see
might
if there's
come
a
up.
Tumblr. Yeah, that's the
No,
only
no, no, no,
Tumblr
no.
I know. Well, there must be some kind of a social media Tumblr, I guess. Everybody tumbles
Okay.
around.
Okay, you're getting
Okay,
more
you're
right.
Okay, you're on the right
You're on the
track.
right track. Yep.
Everybody tumbles around. Is that why they call it Tumblr?
Basically.
Probably, yeah.
They're all tumbling around. Oh.
Just like that?
Yeah.
A bunch of
That's
confused
basically
people,
how
I guess.
everyone sounds on that website.
So everybody's voices
Yeah,
and
yeah,
words are
okay.
all tumbling all over the place, and that's why it's called Tumblr. Am I right?
Yeah. How do you think it's spelled?
You're actually not that far off.
What's that, Alex?
You're actually not that far off.
How do you think it's spelled?
Tumblr? Tumbler?
No.
Oh.
They got rid of the E before the R.
Oh. Somebody doesn't know how. There's somebody's tumbling around with the spelling too.
Like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you were actually fairly close. I'm actually not certain of the exact reason it's called Tumblr. Do you have any other guesses about like the format of the website, like how it works or what people use it for?
Nope. I've run out of explanations.
Okay. Girls, do either one of you want to explain kind of what Tumblr essentially is?
Juji, have you ever had a Tumblr?
I don't want to explain it.
I don't either. It was a dark side of my life.
Nice.
You don't have to explain your Tumblr. You just explain the concept of like how the website works.
It's kind of like a blog site.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixture of a blog and kind of how Facebook works, but instead of like having friends and everything, you just have this long like wall of posts.
I'd say it's close to like Pinterest in the sense that people would reblog and pin up like things they liked on their own
Yeah.
blog.
Well, what is
All
some
right, I
of the
could
stuff
see it
that
has
they
some
would
elements
pin?
of Pinterest.
I'm just trying to relate it to something Mom knows.
Oh,
so.
true. All right,
but
so it's kind of if.
But how is it close to Pinterest? I mean, what are you pinning from?
Okay, so it's a bit of a combination of Pinterest and Facebook in some ways, combined with a blog. So it's like Facebook in the fact that you have like a giant feed of different people that you follow. And then it's like Pinterest in that you have a lot of different subgroups of people who use it for different reasons and follow different types of groups. So you'll have a ton of people who follow fandoms, or basically they follow different people who are like fans of certain shows. So like all the people who really like Harry Potter will follow other people who like Harry Potter, and they'll post things that have to do with Harry Potter. And so, but then you also have people who do like personal writing on Tumblr where they talk about sad things or happy things. And you'll have people who
Aesthetic blogs, which are basically
you'll have
pretty
where there'll be
pictures
more like
or something.
exactly pretty pictures or interesting things like that. It's a weird website.
So how do people find all that time to do Facebook and Tumblr and Instagram and my God, they spend all their time on social media?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
And they just don't do
Tumblr's
anything else.
Weird because
Nothing
you don't.
else. It's
you
all
don't,
virtual. Their lives are all virtual.
on Tumblr, you don't necessarily follow your friends on it. Like, you might not even know anyone that you follow.
Actually, yeah, that's very true. So unlike Facebook, where you're only connected to people that you would consider friends, or you don't, or for the most part, you try not to have people who are weirdos following you because you don't want them to see your stuff. In the case of Tumblr, it's typically no one that you know. In fact, oftentimes you won't have anybody that you know follow you because you don't want them to see the weird stuff that you post.
Yeah, but it creates this weird environment where you can post things that you like that maybe you kind of are embarrassed about or something.
Yeah.
Oh, have you used it?
Like if you like to dress as an animal.
Yeah.
So do you guys all use Tumblr?
What?
Do you guys all use Tumblr?
I think at one point in all of our lives
when
we've
I was
all had a
15.
Tumblr. Yeah. It's largely a lot of teenagers that are on there, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be like a rite of passage these days.
Right.
Jeez.
If you once had a diary, even if you only wrote in it once, then you would have had a Tumblr in that sort of sense.
That's a good way of putting it. Oh, there's a line by the band Y, where it's something about maybe Alex, maybe you would know this line. It goes something like
You got to help me out here.
where it's screaming out
I know
screaming out my feelings that like I wouldn't like. Basically what he's saying in the line is that I wouldn't normally say these personal things to like friends, but I am totally fine with screaming them out loud to strangers. And I forget how the line goes, and it's killing me that I can't remember it. But I really like the line, just because I think it does encapsulate Tumblr, where, like I was saying before, you don't usually follow your friends, because a good chunk of the time it's a lot of like personal, like just whiny sort of stuff that you're just trying to get out of your head.
Sometimes it's like
and so.
guilty pleasures or something, and you'll find people that also like the same things as you, so like you'll feel less
that as
weird
well.
about it.
Yep. Like if you really like mustard on your tacos or something, there's probably a Tumblr out there, like a group of people who just all follow each other, and then collectively they don't feel as weird.
Yeah. Why are you looking up Tupperware, Mom?
Well, I found it. The Tupperware Tumblr. You type it in. It's on
It's
here.
a company
They're like
that
cups,
sells-
the plastic cups with little covers and stuff. Like you guys remember you had your little sippy cups, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, it's the name of the company that
no,
makes
it's
those?
a type of Tupperware. They're tumblers. They're called.
Oh, okay. So like so that kids don't spill their drink or
Yeah.
something.
See, so that they don't tumble over.
Oh.
But yeah, remember those little? We still have some. Well,
Yeah,
actually, we do have a couple.
Do we still
in the
have
cabinet.
those?
Tupperware tumblers.
Yeah, Juji uses them.
Juji's,
so,
no, Esther's
you know.
the one that uses the sippy cups. Are you going to say anything, Esther?
What?
You didn't even hear. Will you get off your phone and listen?
Yeah, I'm listening.
She's probably on Tumblr right now.
No,
playing.
she's playing that game.
Ah, goodness.
Oh boy.
Well, I found it,
All
and
right.
I waited. I didn't do it right away. I didn't cheat right away. but it was driving me nuts because I knew that there was a Tupperware tumbler. I
Well,
did it.
I'm glad
Yay!
we've resolved that. Okay, so on to our next segment. Our last segment for the day is listener questions. And the reason I say questions is because we actually have two. They're both from the same person. Our lovely cousin Marseille has two questions for Mom. So we'll go through each of them. And then as she answers, the rest of us can kind of make comments on things and such. So our first question from Marseille is to Mom is, what was it like raising 4 children that are so completely opposite and so successful and talented in different ways?
Oh, that's so sweet of her. You guys should say thank you, Marseille.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I swear I didn't butter
Marseille.
up the last bit of that.
Yeah.
Because it totally sounds like the last little bit of that was something I added in there. But nope, it was all genuinely from her.
Oh, that was very sweet of her. It was very hard, in the sense that when you're a single mom, you do it by yourself. Although I do have a lot of friends that have been there, that have helped me out, and I think that you just surround yourself with good people and listen to advice from your people that you choose to have in your life, and you listen to your children and what they like to do, and you try to invest in their likes so that they become better at it. And your children are a part of you, so if you teach them to succeed, you feel like you have succeeded. So I guess that is the best answer I can give to you, Marseille. But on the other hand, I really don't think you need advice. You're doing a great job yourself. And I think that give it 20 years, we're going to be hearing the same success stories from you. Between you and Jamie, you got yourself a wonderful husband that you can be very proud of. So the two of you together, there's nothing you guys cannot accomplish. And there you go. That's the first answer.
There we go. Does anyone have anything to add to that one?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
Not really. But, yeah, no.
No? Okay. Well, I definitely agree. I got a chance to stop by Marseille's over the summer, both
Me
at
too.
basically the beginning of my road trip and the end. And Gigi did as well. And I got a chance to hang out with her little ones, and they're both adorable and
they're so cute.
really smart little kids. So,
Actually, I got to see Marseille and the babies also in April. I went out
Oh,
for about a
look at
week
us.
to visit, so it was 3 of us got to see him this year.
It's all a year.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
very cool. All right. So, our second question from Marseille is, did you ever want to strangle them when they did their big theater night at your house?
When they did what?
Did you ever want to strangle them when they did their big theater night at your house?
Oh, yes.
So like when we do the film nights at the house and everything like that.
Yes. Don't you guys remember that one time when I was
Come
in my
on.
room trying to sleep? I had work the next day, and you guys are down there making all kinds of noise. I embarrassed you. I said, "What are you guys doing?" I screamed downstairs. You guys are so embarrassed.
I think that happened more than once. Alex did have a tendency to have friends over pretty late in the night.
Turn it down.
Yeah. I mean, those weren't necessarily related to the movie nights, the film nights, but
Well, this time when I moved,
definitely late
when I
night
moved to
shenanigans.
this house, I made sure that Alex's room is on the other end of the house.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Completely,
specifically part of the planning.
Yes, it was.
Like my room was especially placed right under Mom's because she knew I'd be
Yes.
much quieter, and Alex was literally on the complete
total
opposite side of the house.
corner of the house, because I knew that it was him that had all the friends coming and making noises, and but
And he
Because I
was
have no
still
friends,
loud.
as she likes to say.
Well, Mom, what about that time when I was several times when you'd come home and I was like filming in the house?
oh Yeah, I'm walking, trying to get in my house. First of all, I'm mad at the door with a dog growling at me. I'm like, what the heck? What is the dog doing in my house? First of all, and then I step in the door and you guys, shh, we're filming. I'm like, what? Filming? And I had to go to my room and stay in my room until you guys are done filming.
Go to your room, Mom.
Yeah, I was not too thrilled about that one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I had to stay in my room until you guys were done. And then later on, I saw you guys were doing a shower scene, and God only knows what else that you guys do with your films. Yeah. It's tough when you support your kids' dreams. And also in the movie, when you look in the movie and they're using some of your beautiful fabric. Esther in that Psycho movie when she was, I don't know, what was she doing?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, this is some
old... She was
old...
Sybil or something? I don't know.
Oh my god.
And she was like giving that dirty look as she's cutting my beautiful material in the scene. And I couldn't be mad because everybody is looking at me.
Alicia covered the scissors with fake blood and then told me to cut the head off of like the doll print on the fabric.
Yeah, it was gorgeous doll prints on that material.
Well, it like all we have is like gorgeous doll print like fabric, and then stuff that was clearly from the 90s. Like it's all geometric patterns with neon colors.
It doesn't matter.
And I don't think the scene would have looked as nice. Well,
that answers your question, Marseille. Just hide all your material. And I know that you have a lot because you sew.
Yeah, 'cause you do.
So just hide your material, Marseille, and you'll be safe. Lock your sewing room up so the kids can't get in there. That's the answer to your question.
Either that or tell the same story over and over again and never let them live it down.
But hey, you had to ask me that question.
Fair enough. All right, so that about wraps it up for this week's episode. I would like to thank our mom for being willing to do this with us today. I'm sure we'll have her on future episodes, other landmark episodes if we make it to them. And I also would like to thank our other listener, Uncle Richie, for listening in.
Hey, Richie.
Esther, want to tell... Esther, you want to tell the folks at home where they can find us and how they can send in listener questions and suggestions?
You can find us at Instagram, at Pirate Wednesdays, Facebook Pirate Wednesdays, Twitter Pirate Wednesday without the S. Mom's so staring at me. You can find us on YouTube at Pirate Wednesdays, and Twitter at Pirate Wednesdays and Wednesday, and you can rate and subscribe and leave comments on Instagram, on everything. And
what
then
about
you can
Tumblr Pirate Wednesday?
Oh, we don't have a Tumblr.
Yeah. But you can also
We should
leave
get on that.
comments
Come on.
and message us piratewednesday@gmail.com.
We'll have Mom run a
Perfect.
Tumblr.
We can have Mom monitor it though.
Oh, God.
Mom can be in charge of our Tumblr account now.
No, I'm too busy with Facebook.
Well, I don't want to do it. I mean, Esther doesn't even do the Instagram one, and I'm in charge of Twitter for some crazy reason, of all people. And then, of course, the Facebook as well. But so this week, as always, it's typical anyhow. I like to promote other friends and other people's creative projects. And so, friend of the show and friend of ours, Kyle Andrade, whose podcast we've promoted in the past, Local Sounds National, which I still recommend going to give a listen. Very good. They're always coming out with new episodes. I just learned a week or two ago that he has another podcast that he does that he's been doing for a while. So long, in fact, that he's over 100 episodes at this point. And this podcast is called Dragon Ball Super Dope. And what this podcast is all about is it's Dragon Ball Z. So they talk about episodes of Dragon Ball Z and all sorts of related topics to it. It's really funny. It's really interesting. And if you're a Dragon Ball fan, I definitely recommend checking it out. He doesn't even know I'm promoting it. I just thought it was such a cool thing that he does that I figured I'd give it a shout out on this episode. And then
That's too funny.
yeah, you can find.
Of all people, too, you know?
Well, I would expect it from Kyle because I mean he's
Yeah.
always been such a big Dragon Ball fan. And you can actually listen to that on iTunes. So definitely give it a listen and rate and subscribe. So beyond that, Jude, you want to sign us off?
Don't forget to shave your belly with a rusty razor.